Hello everyone, I'm Santiago and today I'm going to be installing Windows 11 with you guys. I'm going to be doing the most stable version possible, which means normal Windows 11 from the Microsoft Store, nothing custom like I did before with Ghost Spectre, which was a custom build. But I had a lot of compatibility issues with games on the Microsoft Store. So if you have a Game Pass, sometimes some games didn't install. So it will be the most compatible version possible. So yeah, let's get started. All links down in the description. So first of all, open Chrome or whatever your browser is and download the Windows 11 ISO from the Microsoft official link. So we go down here, select download, we select Windows 11 and we press download. So now you can select the language. I'll go for English International and press on confirm. And that will make a link for you to download it. It lasts 24 hours. So we download the 64-bit version. I'm going to put everything in this folder just to be organized. Save. And it's going to download Windows 11. In the meantime, follow the second link, which is for Rufus. Rufus is what we're going to use to burn Windows 11 into a flash drive in order to install it. So scroll down a little bit, click here on the top one, and put it in the same folder. So save, downloaded. Then you need your GPU drivers, so I recommend downloading them right away. So the Nvidia drivers, I have a 3060 here, so I'm going to download these, but there's also AMD drivers, so link for both in the description, depends on your PC at that point. So search the latest one, we download it as well. It's going to ask us to select a folder. So I'm going to put it in the same place, so save. And while that downloads, there's one more thing. You should download your motherboard internet drivers, to say it in some way, your LAN drivers. So for that, you need to look up your motherboard on Google and you'll find your motherboard's webpage. In this case, I have a B460M DS3H. So every webpage will be different depending on the manufacturer. So usually in support, you have all the links. So in this case, we're installing Windows 11, so we select Windows 11 64-bit. And you'll find a lot of things here. What I recommend downloading, it says drivers, the chipset drivers, and the LAN drivers. So this is for the internet. I'm going to only download this one because I'm going to explain you why in a moment. So you need to download this because sometimes Windows by itself doesn't recognize your network card. So this will make it so if it doesn't recognize it right away with generic drivers, you have this one, so you don't start without an internet connection. So everything is downloaded. Let's go to the folder that we created. And we got the Nvidia driver, the motherboard's internet driver, Rufus, and Windows 11. So double click on Rufus. No. And now we gotta connect a flash drive. So I have a 64 gig flash drive. As you can see, I already formatted this, so make sure to format it before doing anything here. So we have here the device, make sure it's the correct one, my flash drive. Make sure it says disk or ISO image, so we click on select and we select Windows 11, the one we just downloaded. So as you can see, standard Windows installation, GPT. So you use UEFI. Most people just should have UEFI set on their motherboards right now. I mean, it's a very usual thing. That's basically how it goes. So it's now ready. We press on start. And now we can customize it, which I love about this software. Remove the requirements for 4+ GB of RAM, secure boot, and TPM 2.0. We check this box. Remove the requirement for an online Microsoft account, so installing it, you don't need a Microsoft account. We can also disable data collection. You can set a local account using the same name as this user, which is good, and the regional option as well. So everything that you have on your actual PC right now can be migrated over. And by that I mean the name of the user and the regional options, which is language, what else? Regional timing, all that. I'm going to keep it like this because I want to start fresh. So we press OK. And it will remind you that everything in your flash drive will be removed. So press OK. And let's wait a little bit. It will take some time. So patience. Okay, so it took 13 minutes, but here we are. So our drive is ready for Windows installation. What I'll suggest now is grabbing your GPU driver and your motherboard driver. We downloaded before. We copy those. We go to this PC, to your flash drive, and let's make a new folder called stuff or starting. It doesn't matter the name. And paste over those two items. Depending on your flash drive, it'll take more or less time, so patience again. Let's wait. Okay, so it's ready. We got the flash drive with Windows 11 installation, plus the drivers we were talking about. Now the next step will be to disconnect your internet, so make sure to plug the cable out. Okay, so the internet is disconnected. What you should do now is go into BIOS, so reboot your PC, and press the delete key multiple times to get to the BIOS. So we're going to do that. Bye-bye Windows 10. It's nice meeting you. So it's rebooting, and when it's rebooting, when the screen goes black, just mash the delete button. Or in some PCs it's F2, so F2 and delete. So delete, delete, delete. Come on. It's going to go into the BIOS. So as you can see, the boot menu for this is F12, so you can go directly to the boot menu if you want to. But as you can see, the boot sequence is the Kingston Data Traveler 3.0, which is where we have the Windows 11 installation, and the Windows Boot Manager is in my SSD. So in this case, it all depends on your motherboard, on how you do this. So in this case, I'm going to just reboot because my motherboard with F12 goes into the boot sequence right away. So let me go back, and I'm going to spam F12 to get into the boot menu without going into the boot order. Every motherboard should have this nowadays. So select the partition 1, so double click on it, and it's going to boot into your USB drive. It's going to take a few, depends on your drive. As you can see, that logo, that loading thing. And now language to install, we selected English, then the currency and format. I live in Uruguay, so we're going to select Spanish, Uruguay. Then your keyboard layout, mine is Spanish, not Latin American. That's my keyboard layout. Then press on next, install now. It's going to take a few seconds. Give it a moment. Okay, so now it's going to ask for your product key. If you already have Windows activated on your PC, it uses your motherboard as a reference. So I already have Windows 10 activated, so you don't have a product key. Click on that. It's going to ask for it later. Then you need to select your edition. I'll install Windows 11 Pro, but you have a lot of options here, depending on what you want to do. But Windows 11 Pro should be good for most people. Next. You accept the agreement, as always, sell your soul. Next. Then go to Customized. And make sure here to select the hard drive that you're using. In my case, it's an SSD. It's the 256 gig M.2 drive. But since here we only have these extra partitions that Windows makes, we're just going to delete everything. My advice if you have multiple drives is that you unplug every single drive so you don't delete anything by accident. So once everything is deleted in that drive, you see this. Just select it and click on next. And now it's going to install Windows, so be patient depending on the speed of your flash drive, on the speed of your storage. I mean, where you're installing Windows 11. is going to be faster or slower, so time to wait once more. Okay, so it's ready. It's going to restart on its own. So let's give it a few seconds. Now we're going back to the boot menu. So spam, in this case, F12 on my computer. So go to the boot menu once more. Menu. And now what you want to do is have the Windows Boot Manager as the default. In this case, I cannot drag it up, so I'm going to enter the setup and change the order so it doesn't boot again into the installer. So in the boot sequence, I'm going to put the Windows Boot Manager first, as you can see there. And let's continue. So now it's going to boot into our SSD or hard drive where we installed Windows 11. And it's going to do the first time setup. So everything is there from scratch. We don't have an internet connection. Remember, we unplugged the cable, which is going to be very important because there's a lot of mandatory things on Windows 11, like having a Microsoft online account, the telemetry, and all that thing that you don't want to use because it doesn't help you in any significant way. It only helps Microsoft, and we all know Microsoft, so yeah. Okay, time to wait a little bit longer for it to get ready. This will depend again on your SSD speed or hard drive speed. So it will take longer or shorter depending on your computer. So after that, the screen will go black. Give it a few moments. I think it's rebooting. It's going to reboot multiple times, so don't be afraid if it does black screen stuff or whatever. It's all normal. It's a first boot, so loading. You got this. Just a moment, for sure. Also, your resolution is not going to be your monitor's native. We don't have GPU drivers installed, so it's using a generic driver. Okay, Windows 11, there we go. Awesome. And now you gotta select your country, Uruguay. So yes, that's my country. Then the keyboard layout, I like. My keyboard is a Spanish keyboard. Yes. Do you want to add a second keyboard layout? Personally, no, so we skip it. As you can see, there is no internet connection because we unplugged the cable. So select I don't have internet. Connect now to quickly get started. Yeah, no. Continue with limited setup. So you don't need an account or anything. It's going to make a local account. I'm called Santiago, so let's call this Santi. Next. If you want to put a password, do it right now. Personally, in my local computer, I don't put a password. Next. And it's going to do the classic, hi, we're getting things ready for you. So yeah, you gotta wait a little bit longer now. So let's wait again. Okay, so once that's done, you'll be greeted with the Windows 11 main screen. And as you can see, it's pretty bare bones right now because, well, we didn't allow it to download anything, basically. It has all the default stuff. So let's get some things out of the way. So go into your Files Explorer, your flash drive, and this stuff that we downloaded before, drag it into the desktop to make it easier to get things done. And now it's time to install your drivers. So I'm going to install, first of all, the LAN driver. So this is for internet connection. Of course, we have unplugged the cable, so until we plug the cable, we're not going to have internet. That's going to come in later, don't worry. So you need to install this. So I'm going to speed it up because it's different depending on your network card. So let's wait. Okay, so the installation is complete, perfect. And now as you can see, the resolution is all screwed up. That's because we don't have a GPU driver. So let's install it. We don't have the Nvidia GPU driver, but Yeah, I mean, I did this because if not, if you have an internet connection, it's going to automatically install one NVIDIA driver that is not the latest. So, yeah, that's basically the reason. In the meantime, let me show you. As you can see, there are some empty slots here. That's because Microsoft is going to download a lot of bloatware once we connect to the internet. So, yeah, we're going to delete those as well. So I'm going to speed up. Well, I'm not going to speed this up. I'm going to show you one thing that I like doing. That is moving the taskbar to the left. So it's more like Windows 10. So taskbar settings, right click. And down here, taskbar behaviors, select alignment left. And now it looks more like Windows 10 with the taskbar to the left. Just personal preference, of course. And now it's time to install the GPU drivers. Okay, once that's ready, yeah. It depends on what you want to install right now. I'm just going to install the GPU drivers, no GeForce experience. I personally do not use it in the gaming PC. So graphics driver. And click on next with express installation. And now again, it's time to wait. So the NVIDIA drivers are installed. I have a 4K screen, so it should be now set to 4K. Right click on the desktop, select display settings. And yeah, this scaling is all screwed up. As you can see, 4K, my native resolution. I'm going to keep it at 200%. Classic Windows scaling garbage. And okay, so now you should have everything ready. Right click on the desktop again. I hate this new menu, but hey, we gotta get used to it, I guess. You can change it, but I rather, if this is going to stay, I'll keep it. So show more options, NVIDIA control panel, agree and continue. And now you have your NVIDIA control panel working as usual. So here it is. Looks like Windows XP, but hey, whatever. So now that this is ready, let's reboot the computer, and while it's rebooting, we're going to connect the internet cable again. So let's restart and connect the cable. Okay, so my Ethernet cable is connected. So as it restarts, it's going to fix the scaling of the resolution, and it's going to have an internet connection. So it's going to start downloading stuff, which we're going to tackle right away. It's going to be a little bit tedious, but it will be worth it, trust me. It will be the lightest Windows 11 you can have with the official ISO. Welcome, yeah. Okay, we're back into Windows. So my monitor is not giving me an image, but the capture card does. About that, some monitor things on my end, because I'm on a capture card. So, okay, it's ready, we have an internet connection. First of all, open the Microsoft Store. Yeah, I know. Trust me on this one. This is for downloading bloatware, basically. Okay, so the Microsoft Store is open. We're going to the library. And you're going to want to check for updates. So click on Get Updates. And it's going to download updates for all the apps. And by all the apps, I mean all the bloatware. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff, but we're going to delete everything. And while that is loading, we go into the Start menu, go into Settings. Yeah, this doesn't matter. We go into Windows Update, and we'll check for updates. We're having Windows 11 updates and the library updates for the apps, which again is complete bloatware. So yeah, we're going to delete everything that we can. So as you can see, you have OneDrive, you have Disney Plus, TikTok, Instagram, Messenger, Clipchamp, Office, Solitaire. I mean, if you check all the apps, there's a lot of random stuff that I personally do not use. Doesn't mean it's bad. So yeah, personally I like deleting all that bloatware. So let's get this installed. It's going to take a while. It's going to also install extra drivers that we didn't download. So this will take a while, depending on your internet connection. Let's wait, and I'm going to get back once that's ready. Let's speed it up. Okay, so everything is downloaded. As you can see, it requires a restart. It says the estimate for installation is 4 minutes. It's also downloading more stuff on the Microsoft Store. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of stuff was updated. Even the Microsoft Store itself, that's why it restarted and I had to go back in here. So now let's restart and wait for the updates to happen. So we're going to click on restart now and wait a little bit longer. Okay, we're now back. All the updates were happening. So let's go to the start menu. Let's go into settings, Windows Update. Everything is up to date. We can also go for this update, which I'm going to skip. But you can pause updates for up to 5 weeks. So let's do that. I don't want any surprise updates for me. This. Well, first of all, you can disable capturing if you want to. Also the Xbox game bar if you don't like that. And there's also game mode. Turn it on by default. So yeah, anyway. So we go into what else? The apps. Install the apps. And you're going to find everything down here. We're going to go date installed. Alarms and clock. Bye-bye, uninstall, yes. Calculator, I keep it. Camera, I keep it. Clipchamp is for editing videos. Bye-bye. Cortana, no thanks. But we cannot delete it from here. Feedback hub, we don't care. Get help, yes please. Give me some help. Oh, no. Mailing calendar, don't care. Here's all up to you actually. Maps, don't care. Media player, we're going to keep it. Microsoft OneDrive, bye-bye. It's installed by default. It's always open. No, just delete it. Do yourself a favor. Then Microsoft Photos, I'll keep it. Well, click on yes on this one. Microsoft Teams, do not care. Microsoft To Do, do not care. News. And I'm going to speed this up, so I'm going to delete everything that is Microsoft related that I'm not going to use. So see you in a moment. Okay, so now that I deleted all that stuff, there's one more place where you have to delete apps, which is in the start menu. So there's more garbage to delete, so go to all apps and delete whatever you do not want to see. Get started, we don't care about that. Oh, never mind, my bad. It's not in all apps, it's here in pinned. So in pinned, delete WhatsApp if you're not using it. Spotify. I mean, this is my gaming PC, not my benchmarking PC. Disney Plus, we deleted as well. Prime Video, we deleted as well. TikTok, bye-bye. I have my phone for all these apps, so doesn't make sense to me. Messenger. And I think I got everything. So now you should have the least amount of bloatware possible. You have your drivers installed. You have your Xbox app for Game Pass. And the difference between this and my previous video where I showed Ghost Spectre, which is a custom Windows installation, apart from this being the official way to do it, it's also the most compatible. I didn't have any issues launching games, installing them. On the Ghost Spectre build, I had Game Pass, but sometimes the games didn't launch. My EA thing for Origin didn't work either, so this I think is the best, most compatible way to do things. We don't have the SPYWARE. We disabled that on the Rufus app at the very beginning. So yeah, I think this is the best way. You can now just open your Microsoft Edge and download Chrome, Firefox, or whatever you like to use and install all your apps, keep your backups, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. We are 48 minutes recording this. So it took me less than an hour to do the entire process with an SSD and a USB 3.0 flash drive. So yeah, Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions in the comments, please, I'll read everything. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye guys.